Whew, okay, wow, well, Destination X just finished, and once again, TNA proving why they are far more superior in wrestling than the WWE. Wow, man, I don't even know where to start. This pay-per-view was showcasing the X Division stars, and man, did they ever do that. There was only one thing I can say in this pay-per-view that really made you scratch your head, but other than that, this was great from top to bottom. Starting with the second chance fatal four-way, you had Mason Andrews winning in a very, very fun opener. Personally, I wanted Jigsaw to win, but Mason Andrews won, and then he faced Kid Cash, which I thought would be a dull match, but it turned out very enjoyable. It was watchable. It wasn't like you were waiting for it to end. And then Mason Andrews won that to advance then to the Ultimate X match later on that night. Then, this isn't in order, but what was it? Kenny King and Doug Williams was next. This match I was kind of iffy about, considering that Kenny King and Doug Williams are kind of on two different spectrums on their wrestling ability and wrestling style. Doug Williams being in his 40s, and then Kenny King just wanting to prove himself. You'd think that one guy would be putting balls to the wall on one, where Doug Williams kind of takes it easy. But Doug Williams hung in there, and he put on a very, very good match with Kenny King. Kenny King winning, and then he advances to the Ultimate X as well. And then we had my main man, my dog, Sanjay Dutt, against Rashad Cameron, also known as Jeez, and also known as Ryback Jobber from SmackDown. Or was it Raw? One or the other. Now, this match was another... I think it could have been better. I think they did mess up a few times, and it kind of made you wonder, like, damn, like, these guys are going to be in an X Division or Ultimate X match later on, and they can't even do single stuff without kind of slipping here or not hitting this the proper way. But overall, it was Sanjay Dutt, so it was good to me at least. And Sanjay Dutt won, moving on to the Ultimate X. And then we had Flip Casanova versus Zema Ion. Now this, I think, I was on Twitter and everyone was saying, this is going to be the worst match of the night, worst whatever. It was short, it was whatever, but it wasn't bad. It was, once again, it was easy to sit through, it was easy to get by. Zema Ion won with his new little, seems like a very crude attitude he has, which is good. What are you going to do? He is now the face of the X Division, kind of, winning the title and all later that night in the Ultimate X match. So, I don't know. That was the one thing I thought was kind of weird, but I'll get to that in a second. You had Joe versus Angle. I thought this would go to a draw, considering the way they were going. By both of them having their submission moves in, neither of them tapped. I thought they would just go all out, have the bell ring, crowd chants 5 more minutes, and then I don't know what would happen after that. But Joe had the real naked choke on Angle, and you could see Angle's face was going like this color, the color of my Coke can. And then the referee just called for the bell, and then Angle got up, and you could tell he was ready to go, and he said, "Oh, that wasn't what happened." And Joe got 10 points, which puts him in number 1 of the Bound for Glory series. That was a very good match. I was tweeting, this is like the reason I started watching TNA was because of these two. And they did not disappoint at all. And then we had, I would say, match of the night, Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles in a last man standing match. They did some badass stuff in this match. Saw AJ Styles send Daniels headfirst into the steps. But I think the main thing that happened was the Styles clash off the stage through a table. Man, I was like, whew, that would look bad. You saw Daniels' neck kind of bend backwards a bit. He couldn't make the 10 count. Definitely a match to check. Go out of your way to check out for sure. And then you had the Ultimate X. Sanjay Dutt did get hurt. You could see they threw up the X. He went to the back. Came back a couple minutes later. And that's when the finish happened. And this match was no more than, I guess, 5 to 6 minutes. And I think that could have been because of Sanjay's injury. I think they could have done a lot more. But because of, I guess, the fact that he's injured, they had a lot of 4-way spots to do. You can't really do that with 3 guys, so they just said, go up there, do the finish, and that's it. Finish was, they climb up to where the, what is that thing called? Elevation X or something, the very, very top, and then him and Ion are there. Ion sprays the with his hairspray in the eyes, gets the belt, and in the most weird thing, I don't know, it was like everyone on Twitter was like, what happened? And I thought Sanjay was going to win, or at least Kenny King, one of the two. I did not expect Ion to win at all. I thought he was literally the guy who would have no chance of winning, but he did. So. And then last, the world title match, the thing that saved this pay-per-view from, I don't know, I think having that X title match flop a bit kind of brought it down, not a lot, but down somewhere to from here, the top, and it brought it down maybe here, but this just pulled it right back up. Aries defeating Bobby Roode for the title. False finishes left and right. I thought Aries was going to be out after the belt shots to the head. I thought Roode was going to tap. He never tapped. And he didn't hit the brainbuster, and you knew that's how the finish was going to happen. You knew he was going to hit it, but you didn't know if it was going to be 3. Aries hit the brainbuster. It was a 3. The crowd went nuts. Everyone went crazy. The confetti came flying. Aries was there with the belt. He looked like a star. His star was made tonight, and I think he, I don't know how long it'll last, but he is going to, I feel, represent TNA very well. I think he's a good choice to put on the belt. And hey, look at the WWE. That was a guy who tried out for Tough Enough, and now he is the world champion of TNA. Just shows how stupid WWE is. And thinking of WWE, they have a nice pay-per-view coming up too called Money in the Bank, and we'll see. They have a lot to compete with if they even plan on coming close to how good this pay-per-view was. But there's my thoughts on the pay-per-view. Very, very good show. Enjoyed a lot. Enjoyed every piece of it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, Raw review.